Have you ever sat down after a long day, only to realize your body feels heavier than it used to? Maybe it's that stubborn blood pressure number that just won't budge. Or perhaps it's that quiet concern that your heart isn't as strong as it once was. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. After 60, many of us begin to notice our bodies sending subtle or not so subtle signals. And one of the most critical areas that needs our attention is our heart. Now, here's something that might surprise you. There is one simple, low-impact daily exercise that doctors and researchers now say can significantly reduce your risk of heart attacks and even help lower your blood pressure without needing a gym membership or fancy equipment. It's not running. It's not cycling. It's something you can do right now, right at home. And no, it's not just walking either. It's called moderate pace walking combined with deep diaphragmatic breathing. And when done daily, it can be as powerful as medication in helping you take control of your heart health. Let's talk about why this works. You see, the heart is a muscle, and like any muscle, it needs to be worked to stay strong. But we're not talking about pushing yourself to exhaustion. In fact, that can be risky after 60. What we need is consistency. Daily, gentle, and intentional movement, especially walking with purpose. Get your heart pumping, your blood flowing, and your oxygen levels rising. A 2020 study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association found that seniors who walked briskly for just 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, reduced their risk of a heart attack by over 35%. That's huge. What's more, another study from Harvard tracked more than 13,000 people over the age of 60 and discovered that those who engage in consistent, low-impact cardio had significantly lower systolic blood pressure compared to those who were sedentary. And when you pair this walking with deep diaphragmatic breathing, you're giving your body a double gift. Here's why. Deep breathing activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your body's rest and repair mode. This helps relax your blood vessels, slows your heart rate, and lowers cortisol levels, which are linked to high blood pressure and chronic stress. Simply put, you're calming the body down in a natural, drug-free way. Let's break that down into something you can actually do. Starting today, imagine stepping outside in the morning before the world fully wakes up. The air is crisp. The sun is gentle. You begin walking at a comfortable pace, not too fast, not too slow, just enough to feel your heart beating with purpose. And as you walk, you focus on your breath. Inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4. Hold for 4. Then exhale slowly through your mouth for 6. Do that again and again. Each step, each breath, working together to create a rhythm your heart understands and appreciates. This isn't just about exercise. It's about reclaiming peace, power, and control. It's about sending a message to your body every day. I care about you. I'm listening. I'm giving you what you need. Now, let's be honest. Sometimes the hardest part is simply getting started. We all have days where we feel tired, achy, or just not in the mood. That's okay. Start small. Even 10 minutes a day, done consistently, can begin to show results. The key isn't intensity, it's regularity. This is a lifelong gift you give yourself, not a sprint perfection. There's also another beautiful side effect to this daily practice. Many seniors report better sleep, reduced anxiety, and a brighter mood after just a week of consistent walking and breathing. That's no accident. Studies show that mild aerobic exercise improves the release of endorphins and serotonin, the brain's natural mood boosters. And better mood means less emotional stress on your heart, which is just as important as lowering physical strain. Now, what about results? Real results. One gentleman I spoke with recently, 72 years old, had struggled with blood pressure for over a decade. He was on 3 medications, felt constantly tired, and had resigned himself to feeling old. But after just 4 weeks of 20-minute walks every morning with slow, controlled breathing, his doctor reduced his blood pressure meds. His energy came back. He felt like himself again. That's the power of showing up for yourself each day. It doesn't require an overhaul of your life, just a shift, a new rhythm, a fresh commitment to motion, breath, and a belief that your body still wants to thrive, even now. So, if your doctor has ever said, your blood pressure's creeping up, or you worried about your heart health, I want you to remember this. Your future isn't written in stone. One small, steady action each day can literally change the path you're on. And the best part? This kind of movement isn't just heart smart. It's gentle on the joints, easy to adapt, and completely free. No matter your age, your weight, or your starting point, walking with breath is for you. As you settle into your new rhythm of daily walking and deep breathing, you might begin to notice something else. Something subtle, yet powerful. That tightness in your chest, it eases. That fogginess in your head, it begins to clear. Even your posture begins to shift as your body responds to being treated with steady, daily care. Now, let's take a closer look at how this one habit, yes, just walking with mindful breathing, affects your blood pressure and heart attack risk in a very real, biological way. High blood pressure or hypertension is sometimes called a silent killer for a reason. You don't feel it creeping up. It doesn't cause pain in the way a sore knee does. But inside, it's working over time, damaging the lining of your arteries, thickening your heart muscle, and increasing the workload your heart must perform every minute of every day. Left unchecked, it can lead to heart failure, stroke, and, yes, heart attacks. But here's the silver lining. Research consistently shows that moderate daily activity lowers blood pressure almost as effectively as medication. A 2022 review published in Hypertension, one of the leading journals on cardiovascular science, found that adults over 60 who engaged in daily low-intensity movement, such as walking, reduced their systolic blood pressure by an average of 7 millimeters of mercury. That's nearly the same as what a first-line antihypertensive medication can achieve. Why does this work? When you move, your blood vessels expand to allow more oxygen-rich blood to reach your muscles. This expansion signals your arteries to relax, reducing resistance and lowering pressure. And when your breathing is slow and deep at the same time, it lowers the stress hormones in your body, especially cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones can spike your blood pressure and heart rate when left unchecked, especially during chronic stress or anxiety. Now, let's talk about a small but important part of your body, your endothelium. It's a thin layer of cells that lines your blood vessels. Think of it as the mood sensor of your circulatory system. If your endothelium is healthy, your blood vessels stay flexible, your circulation flows smoothly, and your heart beats with less strain. If it's damaged, everything becomes stiffer, narrower, and harder. Regular walking helps protect and even repair the endothelium. Deep breathing adds to that by improving oxygenation and reducing inflammation. This combination has been shown to reduce oxidative stress, the kind of internal rusting that contributes to heart disease. And let's not forget one of the most underappreciated benefits, improved insulin sensitivity. Many seniors experience blood sugar spikes even without having full-blown diabetes. And high blood sugar, just like high blood pressure, can damage arteries over time. But when you walk regularly, your muscles become more efficient at using insulin, helping stabilize your blood sugar levels and reducing your overall cardiovascular risk. All of this sounds great in theory, but what about real-life examples? Let me share a story that might resonate with you. There's a woman named Susan, age 68, who lives in Arizona. For years, she struggled with blood pressure that hovered in the high 140s, despite watching her salt intake and taking medication. Her doctor recommended increasing her exercise, but arthritis in her knees made anything high-impact painful. So she started small, just 10 minutes of walking around her block, once in the morning, once in the evening. and she focused on her breathing the way we discussed. In through the nose, hold gently, then a long, slow exhale. Within 2 months, Susan's blood pressure dropped to 125/80. Her knees hurt less, her sleep improved, and perhaps most importantly, she began to feel proud again. Not just of the numbers on her chart, but of her commitment to herself. That's the kind of change that begins with something simple. It's not magic. It's not a miracle pill. It's motion. It's mindfulness. It's a quiet decision made day after day to care for the only body you'll ever have. Another remarkable piece of research I want to highlight came from a Japanese study in 2019. Scientists found that people over the age of 65 who practiced nasal breathing while walking had significantly better oxygen uptake and lower pulse pressure than those who didn't. That means their hearts were working more efficiently and their blood vessels were more relaxed. It's proof that even subtle changes to how we move and how we breathe while we move can create noticeable improvements in our cardiovascular health. Now, I know you might be wondering, what if I can't walk outside every day? Maybe the weather is bad, or your neighborhood doesn't feel safe. That's okay. The beauty of this approach is that it can be adapted. You can walk inside your home, around the kitchen, even march gently in place in front of the TV. What matters is the intentional movement and the rhythm of your breath alongside it. If standing is a challenge, even seated marching in a sturdy chair, paired with deep breathing, can stimulate circulation and reduce stress. What matters most is consistency and attention, showing up for yourself every day in whatever way you can. And here's a little motivation to keep you going. Every single step you take in this routine doesn't just lower your blood pressure. It increases your chances of living longer, feeling better, and staying independent. Isn't that what we all want as we grow older? Not just more years, but more vital years, where your heart is strong, your blood flows freely, and your energy returns. You don't need to be a marathoner. You don't need a personal trainer. You just need your own 2 feet, your lungs, and a little time carved out just for you. You know, there's something deeply empowering about realizing that your health doesn't have to be dictated by your age. Every breath you take with intention, every step you make with purpose, becomes a quiet rebellion against the idea that aging means decline. And one of the most inspiring parts of this journey is watching how consistent movement, simple daily movement, starts to touch areas of your life you didn't expect. Let's talk about something that doesn't show up on your lab reports, but plays a massive role in both heart health and blood pressure. Your mood, stress, worry, loneliness, they're not just emotional weights. They affect your heart directly. Chronic stress causes your body to release cortisol and adrenaline, which keep your blood pressure elevated. Over time, this strains your arteries and forces your heart to work harder than it should. But here's the good news. Walking, especially when paired with rhythmic, deep breathing, acts like a natural antidepressant and anti-anxiety medication. A study published in the Journal of Psychiatric Research found that just 30 minutes of moderate walking, 5 times a week, significantly reduced symptoms of depression and anxiety in adults over 60. That's without pills, without side effects, just motion and air. Think about that for a moment. If a pill could reduce blood pressure, lower stress hormones, lift your mood, improve your insulin sensitivity, strengthen your heart, and clear your mind, all without any side effects, people would line up around the block for it. But the truth is that pill exists, and it's walking, paired with mindful breath. Here's another powerful real-life example. Harold, age 74, used to believe his best days were behind him. After his wife passed, he found himself sitting more and moving less. He was on 2 blood pressure medications. And still, his numbers hovered around 150. One day, he read a small article about how just 20 minutes of daily movement could change everything. He didn't overthink it. He put on his sneakers and walked to the end of his driveway and back. That was all. The next day, he went a little farther. Then he started walking around his block, slowly but consistently. A few weeks in, he added deep, controlled breathing to each step, just like we've been talking about. Within 6 months, he was off one medication. He had more energy. His doctor said his heart sounded stronger. But more than that, Harold said he felt like himself again. That's the kind of transformation daily effort can bring. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, this all sounds good, but what if I've already had heart issues? Or maybe you're dealing with arthritis, balance problems, or simply a long history of sedentary living. That's okay. You don't have to be perfect. You don't need to walk fast or far. You just need to start. Your heart doesn't ask for marathons. It asks for consistency. And science supports this. A landmark study from the American Heart Association found that even short bouts of low-intensity walking, when done consistently, significantly reduced the risk of heart attacks and cardiovascular events in seniors. In fact, they found that people who walked for just 10 to 15 minutes a day, broken up if needed, had a 22% lower risk of heart-related death than those who remained sedentary. Isn't that something? 22% just by adding a little motion to your day. And here's the best part. This isn't just about preventing illness. It's about reclaiming your energy, your dignity, and your sense of purpose. Because once your body starts working better, your mind clears, your spirit lifts, and your daily life becomes easier. You sleep better at night. You feel steadier on your feet. Tasks like grocery shopping, cooking, even enjoying time with the grandkids, these things don't feel like chores anymore. They become joys again. It's never too late to turn things around. You're not too old. You're not too slow. You're exactly where you need to be to begin. So, here's your gentle challenge. For the next 7 days, try just 15 minutes of walking each day. If you can, pair it with that calming 4-7-8 breathing technique. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and exhale slowly for 8. Let your body relax into the rhythm. Let your blood vessels open up. Let your heart remember what it's like to move with ease. And if you're seated more than you're standing, start there. March in place during commercials. Roll your shoulders while you sit. Breathe deeply. Every movement counts. Remember, every journey starts with one step. And that one step taken today could be the one that prevents a future heart attack. That one breath could be the one that lowers your blood pressure just enough to keep you healthier longer. You have the power to change your life. Not through drastic overhauls, but through small, daily promises kept to yourself. If you found this message helpful, I invite you to leave a comment and share your story. Tell us how you're starting. Tell us your goals. And if you're walking already, how has it changed you? Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if it inspired you. And if you want more tips, motivation, and scientifically backed health advice for life after 60, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're building a community here, a family, and we're so glad you're part of it. Here's to stronger hearts, calmer minds, and vibrant lives, one